some thinning shears that I'm going to be working with today. These are all from Precision Sharp. I have 4 pairs in particular that I'll be using throughout this session. And they start out with a fine detail shear. This is a 40-tooth Precision Sharp shear. It is used for detail work, for blending. I use this a lot under eyes of Shih Tzus and things like that. 56 tooth shear, and this is a really nice shear. It can really handle a lot of coat, and it can also blend and soften, and it does a really nice job. But it doesn't have quite the detail work as the little shear. It's very hard to buy one shear to try to do all your work because it's just really not going to happen. You really need a couple shears to handle different coat types and textures. You can skim that with a 10 blade to get that off. But then I'll go in with my little fine detail shear and I'll clean up that edge. And I'll clean up all on the side of this head right here and blend those lines together. So I'm going to very lightly skim this. And if you watch me throughout this seminar, you'll be seeing that when I use my thinning shears, when I close the shear, I actually drag the coat away. And that razors the edge of that coat and makes it jagged, and so it'll kind of lay down naturally. And it gives it a nice natural look. Now I'm going to go to my more aggressive shear, my 40-tooth shear that is very aggressive, and I'm going to take the end of this tail off because the hair comes off very fast with this shear. Because there's nothing worse than trying to whittle away with thinning shears. I think that's why a lot of groomers don't like to use them, because there's so many more strokes with thinning shears than with a scissor. But when you see the results and the natural appearance you get, it's worth the trouble. But a lot of times when groomers just want to throw them down because it seems like a lot of work, and most of the reason to that is that they have the wrong shear for that job. And so if I tried to do this tail, for instance, with a little detail shear like this, it would take me forever. Where going to a nice more aggressive shear is going to whack that hair off very quickly. So that's why it's really important that you know your shears, because if you have the wrong shear for the wrong job, it gets very frustrating. I usually take this shear, this 56 tooth, and I'll go ahead and I'll put the shear, close the shear on it and drag it down. That will blend those two lines together. A lot of times you have a ridge here, and so if you go ahead and do that, put your shear in and just pull it, and it will lay that right down for you. Same thing over the ear where you have your head meets your ear. I just take that and tip that off, lift it up a little bit, see it's hanging over your edge, and go ahead and just thin that in so it blends right over your ear there. So you can't see the transition between that and the top of your ear. Flyaways in here, and even up in here. Now she's got a very nice smooth coat, but I know I have a lot of golden retrievers that I groom that have a lot of the flyaways, almost like this, and all through here. You can see all these, and a lot of times I'll just put my comb there because I don't want to touch the guard here. I don't want to cut any of this. All I want to do is take off those little flyaways. So I'll use my comb almost just to protect the other hair, and just take away a little of those flyaways just to neaten them up. You can comb everything up. The comb is your best friend, really. I mean, if you get a nice comb like this, a nice big comb, it keeps your hand out of the way, it really gets down into the coat, and it does a really nice job. Well, this concludes our thinning shear session on theory and techniques. I hope that you learned a lot from this. Like I said, you can go ahead and visit my website. You can contact me through there if you have any other questions on thinning shears. I'm always out and about at shows.